So I'm just going to give you a little insight into how I balance my checkbook. Okay, this is what I do every month because I want to make sure that I pay all my bills on time, that they're not late, and then I don't get way behind. One of the mistakes that a lot of people do is they're always playing catch up with their bills. And when you're playing catch up with your bills because you didn't make them on time, you end up with late fees, higher interest rates, all sorts of things where really more of your money that would be yours is going somewhere else. I opened it up to my Monticello Bank website. I get my checkbook out. I've got a stack of bills that I owe. And one other thing, you'll get a bank statement from your bank if you have a checking account. And folks, if you don't have a checking account, I highly recommend that you swing by a bank and you look at getting one. Most of them offer free accounts to students. If you've never had one before, those are things that I can help you out with, maybe a little bit in this course, and we can talk about. But every month I sit down and I've got some account numbers and some different things that are listed on a checkbook. And then I've got some different bills that I have to pay. And I look at those and then I go through my checkbook and I start keeping track. Now there's a few different ways you can write in the checkbook. But the bottom line is you make sure that every time you spend money, you write it down. And then you give a ledger over on the side where you're going to subtract or add. If you're making a deposit, you're going to add. If you're making a withdrawal, you're going to subtract. So every time I might write a check or pay a bill, I take care of those things. So now that it's the first of the month, let me see if I can turn this around. I really can't see how this looks because I don't have a screen to look at, but I'll hope that you can see me. Every time that I have a bill to pay or every month, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to figure it all out. I'm going to take my budget. I'm going to take my income. I'm going to take my check. I'm going to pay all those bills right on the front of the month. And then I know that I've got everything covered that I have to do. And then I have some extra money that I might use for fun, for entertainment, to take the kids out to eat, to go and do something, to purchase things. I have some that I might set aside in savings. And then I might also have some that I'm going to use just to give to charities. Definitely when I make a budget, one of the first things that I do as a Christian, I put some money and I give it to the church. You can or do that or not. I don't know what your religious affiliations. For me, that's one of the things that I'll do. I'll make sure that my house is paid, my electric bills, all these things, and I stay ahead of it. And that way I don't find myself in a real tight squeeze or getting behind. And that's a good idea to do. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the mistakes that people sometimes make later on. But getting a checking account, and I strongly recommend that you do that. You can check with your bank, tell them you're a student. They'll set you up with a student account. In most banks, that's 100% free. They'll give you the checks. They'll give you the whole 9 yards. But then you can start keeping track of your money. And again, common mistake, a lot of people, you get that paycheck, you run in, you cash it, you go out and you spend it. You don't know where it goes. It didn't seem like you bought that much, but the money's gone. Preparing to budget's an important thing, especially as you get older. You may have a husband or wife, you may have children, you got a lot more bills, and you need to be ready for that. All right, we'll talk a little more about financial literacy in another course.